Item number 24, please.
Order authorizing the approval of a ticket surcharge in the amount of $5 for ticketed events and performances held at the Thalia Hall.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and second on item number 24. Any questions or comments? I'm sorry, man. Councilman Whitwell.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, could you explain this? This seems just on the surface kind of unusual, and I'm very fearful that it may have a negative impact on Thalia Hall.
Okay, I'm going to say a few words about it. I'm going to ask Mr. Raff to fill you in too. But essentially what it is that we're doing renovations at Thalia Hall. It's going to cost around about, we're estimating $5 million. We probably could do it for a little less than that, but that's the estimate. We have $1 million from the federal government, state legislature, which has been approved. We have anticipating to raise $1.5 million from private contributions, friends of Thalia, and we need $2.5 million in order to do the rest of the work. And so with this $5 surcharge, we will have enough money to do it. Mr. Raff will inform you that he's done some checking with the ballet and other organizations which have used Thalia, and although, of course, nobody wants to raise their tickets, they all have seen the necessity of doing so, and so they will cooperate in the process. And so it is our belief, and it's his belief, and he can state for reasons why, that it's that this will not hurt us, but this will actually help us. In fact, I think our ticket charges are still lowest of anybody in the comparable size cities, and actually most cities in the South the ticket prices are still lower for comparable types facilities. So we think that we will still do well, and the improvements at Thalia Hall are pretty much a must. But I'm going to ask if you have anything to add to that, Mr. Raff.
You got it all there, Mayor. 45 years we've enjoyed Thalia Hall, but the grand old lady is not going to live any longer unless we take some drastic renovation efforts to do this. The $2.5 million is going to come from a lease purchase contract for a new air conditioning system, interior lighting upgrade, and a fire life safety equipment. That will be the lease purchase of $2.5 million, paid over a 10-year period. The revenue received from the surcharge will be more than enough to pay that, so we'll leave additional funds for more renovations at Thalia Hall. As the mayor said, no one likes a rate increase. This will be done by the private promoters, the private users. We're putting that addition onto their ticket sales. What we have is the lowest rental rates for promoters and shows in the entire region. We've done a survey of like-type theaters in Memphis, Mobile, and Shreveport, and even with this $5 surcharge, we are by far the lowest in the area. And we feel this is just absolutely necessary to save the hall and to get ready for, of course, all the upcoming events, the IBC in June. We are going to start a special marketing efforts to bring more into Thalia Hall after the renovation. Our attitude in the past has sort of been, you come to see us and we'll decide whether we let you in or not. And what we are going to start is aggressive marketing efforts to have that not go a week without that hall being dark once we come back from this renovation.
My concern, I have a few concerns, and I understand the motivation is pure. I worry, first of all, that there could be a decrease in sales so that it could kind of offset any positive impact, but also there just needs to be some discretion, I guess. I worry about the exact way this order is written in terms of specifically a $5 surcharge, on every event. First of all, there are tons of free events there. So are we going to, those people are using it every bit as much as others. So should we not at least come up with some sort of fee so that there aren't free events, but people actually pay something? And then finally, my biggest thing is, and the whole reason why I know we know we've got to put so much money into Thalia Mara is we cannot lose this international ballet competition. And I fear that if we have a $5 surcharge on those tickets, that we may undermine the whole purpose of this and lose that event. As we know, it's very, very competitive. So, one of the things I would like to think about is maybe even an amendment that doesn't include the $5 surcharge in the actual international ballet competition when they come, and then also if the free events hadn't been addressing it as well.
This does not affect this current IBC performance. This will be 4 years from now. There will be some room for you all to come back and make amendments to this and add more flexibility. But for right now, we want to get something established, get our lease purchase loan, our contract done so we can draw down the $1 million of state funds and move on very quickly in this renovation to have it ready by the IBC. But, you can always come back to this later and make some adjustments.
Council Lady Simone.
Okay, thank you. I just have several thoughts about this. I know, one, I'd like to see it go to the Budget Committee, and we could do that quickly, have that meeting and get back to you. But I know that there's been some analysis in the past of our rates and fees and all of that. And I agree that our rental fee is one of the lowest in this region, this area of the country. I would like to look at that and do whatever analysis is there. I'm very concerned about the negative impact this could have on our local arts groups, which every one of them are struggling right now. And we just came back from the National League of Cities, and what I heard over and over and over again, how important arts are to the education of our children. Ms. Bittman talked about it earlier. It's just very, very important. And I'm concerned that our local arts groups could be impacted negatively, and I would just hate for that to happen. But I know that in earlier years we did some analysis of our fees. In fact, it's when we changed the fees for so many different venues in the city of Jackson. But I would like us to at least take the time and look at that analysis and make sure that we're making the most prudent decision. I'm concerned about the impact on our local arts groups, especially.
Okay, our local arts groups right now receive their rental rates half of what the for-profits are.
Right. I'm worried about that $5 fee on tickets, especially for senior citizens and the youth. And I'm sorry we didn't get to talk.
All right, and again, this is just on tickets. As the councilman said, there are a number of events that are open to the public or open to different, like graduations or church groups. Those are not ticketed events.
Right.
So that will not apply to them. Like children's shows. Again, those are not ticketed events, and this will not apply to them. There's an average of 68,000 tickets sold per year. This is based on an average of the last 5 years, and that's how we project what income this will bring. But keep in mind that we are going to go from a very passive approach to people using the Thalia Mara to a very aggressive marketing approach. And I will certainly make up for the difference if there is a cutback.
And we may end up coming up with something that can address the issue. But I'm very, very concerned about ticketed events, especially as it impacts our local arts groups and our senior citizens and our young people. And there is a tier there for many of those tickets. So, and I don't know how you Are you adding the $5 onto each and every ticket there? I don't know that.
She had one last question.
No, I just think that we would be well served to have this in the Budget Committee on briefly, so that we can analyze this.
Mr. Raff is telling me that time is of essence. We have to go to the bank and get this loan in order to begin the renovations. Is that right?
That's right, and we will need this to get the lease purchase contract. We need to have this settled.
Explain like you explained yesterday the time frame for starting renovation, closing.
We are closing ticket events the last week of December. The first week of January, the hall will be used for the James Brown movie, which is being filmed in Jackson, and after that, construction renovation will start on January 10th. And it's our contractors, our architects are all working very, very closely to make sure we can hit the ground running. Everybody has the IBC, the June 1st deadline as an absolute.
Okay, Councilman Priestley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate the concern about the local art groups, but based on my experience working with the Jackson Arts Council, working with a number of arts organizations in the city, Thalia Mara Hall really isn't where the organizations and promoters that have the most sensitivity to price points are having their events. That the place that I think is more important for the more cost prohibitive or cost concerned promoters and event organizers are the old art museum, some of the facilities at Jackson State, that I think that the folks that are genuinely using Thalia Mara Hall, it's truly been my experience, have been the folks that really can sustain a $5 surcharge. And so I don't think further study or putting off this vote would be of reasonable use of the council's time, given how important it is to get this finalized so that we can get the financing done.
Okay, we've had my take on this whole thing is the time frame for starting the renovation, closing the hall down, and getting the work done, and being ready for the international ballet. And of course, I'm at the will and pleasure of following the guidance of this council. Now I'm ready to vote on it tonight because I know how important it is to do all this renovation, and then you run into some problems and delays, and then you're not ready for the international ballet. That's my true feel. So now we can put it in committee. We can vote.
Yeah, and let me just add this for people in the audience, perhaps, who wasn't here yesterday for the work session. This ballet has a $10 million impact economically on the city of Jackson every time it's held. All right. Okay.
I'm certainly not talking about holding up the IBC. I'm talking about a few days to really analyze whether this is gives us the benefit that we need.
I move to call the question.
Okay, the question being called. We have a motion on the floor in a second, so I'm going to call for the vote. All in favor? Okay. All opposed? 4-2.